Go away." Then Anne looked at the piece in her hand and the part of the frame she still had her finger on. She turned my piece around once, brought it closer to the frame. It was the right piece. "How did you do that?" asked Anne. Now she was more curious than jealous. "But I just looked at all the pieces and picked up another one." And Anne put it in the puzzle, hooking it on the other piece I had found. Then Anne said, "Here, Nora, you put some pieces in the puzzle. You just have to push each one down, like this, with your thumb. Start right here." I could feel how Anne was watching me. She had never looked at me that way before. I didn't know I was doing anything unusual, because for me, the puzzle was so easy. I didn't have to look and try out 10 pieces to find the right one. I could just see the next piece. I didn't have to slow down, and I didn't make any mistakes. Anne ran and got Mom. Then I felt 2 pairs of eyes staring at me, so I stopped. "Go on, keep doing the puzzle, Nora," said Anne. "Show Mommy. Find the piece for right there." Then Mom said, "Go on, honey. Help Anne do the puzzle. Go on." It felt like they were pushing me with their eyes. They wanted a performance. But I was just being me. So I said nothing. Anne said, "Come on, Nora. Just one piece. Come on." And she grabbed my hand and pulled it toward the unmatched pieces. I yelled, "No!" and I yanked my hand away. That was it for me. Puzzle playtime was over. But later, when I was supposed to be taking a nap, I climbed out of my crib and crawled backward down the stairs. I went into the family room and sat down on the floor and put the whole puzzle together. I took a long look at Miss Piggy and Kermit and Fozzie Bear and Animal, and then I took the puzzle apart and left everything just the way it had been. And then I took my nap. That day, I learned some important facts about me. I learned that what seemed normal to me seemed strange to other people. I also learned that I didn't like to perform, and that I hated to be pushed around. For a week or so after that, I could tell my Mom and Anne kept watching me, and my dad and my big brother too. They were all watching to see if I could do anything else that was smart or clever. So I was careful, which might seem weird, but it was a fact. If my Mom or Dad or Anne or my big brother or any of the kids at daycare started looking at me funny, I would stop whatever I was doing. I didn't want to be stared at, so I was careful. And a few months later, when I figured out how to read, I was careful about that too. Reading was amazing and wonderful and exciting, but I didn't tell anybody. And there were reasons. My brother's name is Todd, and he's 3 years older than I am. There, in between me and Anne. When I first started reading, Todd was in kindergarten, and he didn't know how to read at all. So I figured that if little baby Nora let anyone see she could read, it would be a big deal. And I thought it might also make Todd feel bad, or mad at me, or both. Plus, I didn't want my mom and dad to make me read my own stories at bedtime. So I kept the fact of reading a secret. I was still lying on my bed, thinking and thinking, and then I remembered my report card. The D's on my first report card of 5th grade. Those D's had become a fact. It had been nice to forget about them for a few minutes, but forgetting about a fact does not make the fact go away. And I knew that pretty soon my mom was going to yell that it was dinner time. I got up off my bed, walked over to my desk, grabbed my report card, and licked the flap of the envelope. The glue tasted terrible. I waited a second and then pressed the flap shut. Now the report card was hidden away, sealed inside its ugly brown recycled paper envelope. And I even flattened out the little tabs of the brass fastener. Then I instantly analyzed what I'd done, and I knew why I had sealed the envelope. Those D's were like a time bomb. Tick, 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 boom. The explosion was inevitable. I was putting it off until the last possible second. I had thought about getting those D's for a long time. I felt pretty sure that my plan made sense. But still, my mom and dad had always been crazy about grades. And I had to face a fact. Those D's were going to have to be explained. But not the part about Stephen, about how those D's were related to him. The part about Stephen wouldn't have to be explained until much later. Maybe never.